and that rich heritage shaped Hazel's life and character. 3 of her 6 brothers devoted their lives to religious service as priests and missionaries, and Hazel's own devotion to faith was a constant thread throughout her life. From the very beginning, Hazel's life was one of resilience, grace, and joy. Very early in her life, she faced and overcame polio with quiet strength. Hazel was a good student, was very popular, and had a lot of friends. She often spoke fondly of the log cabin in Loretta. It was a place in the late 1940s, where she and her high school friends would gather after school, enjoying the jukebox and the music that filled the air. It was there that Hazel's love for music and dancing blossomed, and she carried that joy with her throughout her life. After high school, Hazel attended Webster College in St. Louis, but homesickness brought her back after a year, back to Loretta. Later, she moved to Louisville, where she worked as a secretary in an appliance store, and it was there that she met Dan Miles, the love of her life. They married in November 1954 at St. Francis Church in Loretta, beginning a journey that would be filled with love, faith, and family. After their marriage, Hazel and Dan lived in the west end of Louisville, near Dan's parents. But with their first child born in August 1955, Dan learned of a new development way out in a very rural Westport Road area, east of Louisville. In March 1956, they moved into a brand new house in a new subdivision called Briarwood. That house, where they raised 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls, became the heart of their family. And Hazel remained in that home for the rest of her life. She was the last of the original homeowners in Briarwood to leave when it was time for her to move to assisted living. Briarwood had a park with Goose Creek running through it, a baseball field, basketball court, and surrounding farmland. Not only that, in 1959, Hazel and the family were blessed when the ground was broken for Mother of Good Counsel, a new Catholic church and school right across from the neighborhood. And next to that was Plantation Swim Club, all within walking distance for her and her young children. This was especially fortunate because the family only had 1 vehicle and Hazel did not drive. But what a great place to raise a family. Reading was a key component of Hazel's upbringing of her children. We all have vivid memories of her beautiful voice reading aloud from the Childcraft series of books. The story that stands out the most is Hansel and Gretel, a tale we all loved. The picture in that book of the Wicked Witch, the children, and the gingerbread house became so worn from repeated readings that it was torn and held together with Scotch tape, a testament to Hazel's dedication to making reading with each of us special. Hazel loved sports. She was an avid baseball fan who cheered passionately for the Boston Red Sox, much to the chagrin of her Yankees-loving brothers. Upon her marriage, she began following the Cincinnati Reds, and 4-time All-Star Gus Bell, who was her husband Dan's best friend, Flagey High School classmate, and was the best man at their wedding. Hazel enjoyed playing catch with her sons in the backyard, and in later years, she took up golf. Hazel found great peace and joy in the outdoors. Whether it was a stroll through the neighborhood or a walk in the park, being outside was one of Hazel's favorite ways to stay active and enjoy life. She also had a green thumb. She was adamant about her flowers and trees and bushes around the house, and she was thrilled when she planted her first dogwood tree. Hazel was a good cook. She's especially known, though, for her legendary chocolate meringue pie, which she would generously bake for those of her friends and neighbors on our street. Hazel made friends easily, and everyone liked her so much. Before she got her driver's license later in life, neighbors would actually take her wherever she needed to go. The word most often used to describe Hazel is sweet. and there's no doubt about that. Hazel was difficult to anger, but she did not tolerate harsh language, teasing, or bullying among her children. She believed in fairness and respect, and she made sure her children knew the importance of both. One child in particular can tell of the consequences for not following these basic principles. Mouth washed out with soap, a switching with a small tree branch, and even a hot potato still in the aluminum foil, thrown with great accuracy across the room. Hit me right in the head. She had a great arm. These moments, though firm, were always balanced with love. Being from Kentucky and bourbon and tobacco country, Hazel did enjoy a highball and what she called a senior Manhattan on occasion. She also liked her Salems, which I'm told she never inhaled. In the warmer months, she enjoyed these while sitting on the patio solving the world's problems with her daughter, Jan. In the earlier years, she would relax this way at night, watching her favorite late-night show, Johnny Carson, when the kids and Dan went to bed. Hazel was very active in civil affairs, always volunteering at the polls during elections. In addition to that volunteer work, Hazel was also selected as a juror in one of the most historic murder trials in Louisville, a remarkable example of her sense of duty and justice. After Dan passed away in 1994, Hazel obtained her driver's license at the age of 62. This allowed her to enjoy her independence well into her late 80s. Hazel enjoyed traveling across the country with her niece Betty, visiting new places and making memories that brought her great joy. She also took up golf and enjoyed playing with her best friend Hinda, along with her brothers and her children. Hazel's love for family paid dividends over the years. In addition to her 5 children, she was blessed with 5 grandchildren, 4 step-grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. The great-grandchildren all happened to be boys. Hazel would often inquire in recent days about the great-grandchildren, and she'd say, "What, no girls?" And when great-grandson Charlie was mentioned, Hazel's eyes would light up and she would exclaim without fail, "I dated 3 Charlies." Hazel always had that friendly, pretty smile on her face, and one of the most lasting memories of Hazel was her beautiful, youthful voice. Even into her 90s, her voice sounded just as it did in her 20s, full of energy, love, and warmth. That voice is a reflection of the vibrant, caring spirit that stayed with her until the end. Above all, Hazel's greatest legacy is her family. She created a home that was filled with love, kindness, and faith. And her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will forever carry her values of strength, resilience, and devotion. Mom, we're so grateful for the life you've lived and the love you've shared with all of us. You taught us how to live with grace and courage. We love you, and we will miss you dearly, but your memory will remain in our hearts forever. Rest now in God's eternal peace. Amen.